Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Court Cutting TV, Buforge Tax Preparation, Bravos Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Monzon Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. Welcome back to another week. Here we are to connect with each other and to share news and headlines from our city, from our state, from our country, to take a look at your comments, your ideas, your suggestions on how to best connect with each other and with Puerto Vallarta. Look who's here. Community partner Tim Buford. I swear, if I was Canadian and I needed help with my taxes, in Canada, of course, I would rely on the services of Tim Buford. And I see a lot of good mornings already. This is absolutely wonderful. I hope you had a good weekend. I had a very productive weekend. Don't have much to show for it because I was working on a number of projects and working behind the scenes on making Coffee and Headlines' website better, on making our broadcast smoother. And I'm working on a brand new project that we will unveil later on this week. I'm very excited about this. It's not quite yet ready for prime time, but almost there. In the meantime, I have a little bit of news to share. Not a lot. It's one of those things in which some Mondays there are a lot of things to share, other Mondays not so much. So I'm going to be slightly chatty and verbose, and I'm going to invite you to bring up conversation topics as we move forward through the broadcast. Ask me anything, and I may give you an answer. Okay, let me plug the news in, and here we are. We're going to start with this one. It is summertime. It hasn't rained that much, and water is an issue that we should worry about year-round. And I'm happy to see that the Water Culture Department of the Puerto Vallarta Drinking Water Drainage and Sewage Services System, which we know by SEAPAL, is carrying out a series of social activities to promote good habits and to protect, to encourage protection of this vital liquid among the residents of Puerto Vallarta. SEAPAL is organizing these social events and festive events to help families remember some sound tips to conserve water, such as taking short showers, turning off the faucet when soaping up, checking for leaks, and many other options. Happy to see that this is happening. I also want to touch base on this one more time because I think it is very important to do. I'm very happy to see that my friend and colleague Denise Desmarais, Denise. Hello, Denise. I'm messing up your last name. I am so sorry. Denise from Banderas News. I'm happy to see Denise from Banderas News promoting the Malecón survey, which is out in Spanish, but it's out there for everyone to fill out. Kudos to Banderas News for promoting this very important survey. And one more time, we will feature it in the show notes so that you can make sure to fill out this survey, which has to do with the well-being of the Malecón, how the Malecón is going to be purposed moving forward, whether it should be extended or not, and all those important things. I also want to let you know that the construction of the Tepic-Compostela Highway, which will connect with the Tepic International Airport and the new Jala Puerto Vallarta Highway, will be fully completed by October 31. It was scheduled to be ready by the end of September, but work has been delayed due to terrain conditions as the road crosses mountainous areas between two municipalities. This is not important to me, you may think, but it is important if you're heading up to Mazatlan, if you're heading to Tepic. Once this road is completed, the time of travel will be the travel time will be a lot shorter. And there's a specific reason why I want to mention this today, and that reason will become apparent after we take a look at the news for this morning. Let's see what our snarky weatherman is up to. Oh, see, even our snarky weatherman doesn't have much to say. Beep, boop, it's sunny. Well, that's exciting, I suppose. Um, and I took too long to find this. Anyhow, 29 degrees right now. Humidity is at 70%. Our weather forecast for today says clear skies in the morning with partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. A little chance of rain, a small chance of rain, 17%. A high temperature of 33 and a low temperature of 25. Tomorrow, mostly clear skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon. A chance of rain of 38%, a high of 33, and a low of 25. And then Wednesday, mostly clear skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. A chance of rain of 73%, a high of 33, and a low of 26. So we may see some rain by hump day. And as I was saying, I was talking about the travel time between Puerto Vallarta and Tepic, and there's a reason why I think this will be important for us in the future. Well, many reasons, but here's one. Just this past Saturday, we were talking about the Marias Islands, and I mentioned that I haven't visited the website to schedule and to coordinate a trip to the Marias Islands in a while. And as I suggested to myself, as I mentioned to you, right after the broadcast, I went to take a look at the website, and it has improved quite a bit. The website to get to Islas Marias is now bilingual, and it is a lot easier to understand the packages that are available for you to pursue. For example, it will ask you whether you wish to leave from San Blas, which is why the Tepic Highway is important. You have to get there in order to head to San Blas. Whether you want to leave from San Blas or whether you want to leave from Mazatlan, which is further north. We would want to leave from San Blas if we were going from Puerto Vallarta. And you would have to find transportation to San Blas. There are buses, and they have senior discount. I'm thinking something is brewing here. Anyhow, once you decide where you want to depart from, you suggest a date, and now the website very explicitly tells you there are casas, small, medium, and large casitas where you can stay. These are not fancy schmancy hotel rooms. Don't expect that. Think about going to the Islas Marias more as a camping trip where you don't need to camp, because essentially everything you do or everything available for you to do at the Islas Marias is to spend time surrounded by beautiful nature. So at the end of the fact that you've selected your dates, you've selected where you want to leave from, and you've selected the size of the casita. For example, the small casitas, I was looking at them, they're good for as many as 4 people. So you can put your group of people together based on the size of the casita. So if you want to go with just a couple of friends, you can do it that way. So I am happy to see that it is a lot more user-friendly. Do I see myself going to the Marias Island sometime in the future? Absolutely. It used to be a jail. It's kind of like Mexican Alcatraz. So I think it's very exciting. So there you have it. I am going to now talk about my next article that I found that might be of importance to you. Tribuna de la Bahía published this article on how to get to Las Ánimas beach from Puerto Vallarta. And of course, we know that Las Ánimas beach is one of the beach destinations south of Puerto Vallarta that is only accessible by boat. and I'll contextualize that in a second. So there are two ways to get there. Essentially, you can take a water taxi from Los Muertos Pier, and that'll take about 90 minutes to get there, or you can find your way down to Boca de Tomatlan and take a water taxi from Boca de Tomatlan. You can also hike there from Boca de Tomatlan. There's a trail that goes through the forest, so you can hike there, and maybe you don't want to hike back, you can take the water taxi all the way back. So there are several options. Now, the article doesn't talk much about why would anyone want to go to Las Ánimas Beach. And in case you haven't been, I'm going to spend a couple of minutes just telling you about this beautiful beach, and probably my favorite beach if I choose to have a beach day here in Puerto Vallarta. It does take a bit of effort to get there, but once you get there, number one, there are no nearby rivers. So chances that you're going to get like muddy water during the rain season are not that big. Number two, there are not that many vendors. And I appreciate vendors trying to make a living and all that good stuff. But, you know, sometimes you want to go to the beach and not be bothered by having to say no thank you or whatever. So it is very peaceful and quiet there. The water is very swimmable. It's very easy to get in the ocean and have a very refreshing swim. And once you get there, there are different options of palapa restaurants where you can, you know, you can set up your place for the whole day, and you'll be pampered with drinks and food and all that stuff. And you can just get up and go and refresh yourself in the ocean if you want to do that. So it is a beautiful place. Most importantly, when thinking about going to Las Ánimas Beach, is that when it's time to get the water taxi tickets, whether you are at Boca de Tomatlan or at Los Muertos Pier, it really, really pays off if you have a Spanish-speaking person do the negotiation for you, particularly this time of year. We're in the summer months, and there's not a lot of people going back and forth to places like Las Ánimas. Maybe there will be some more once summer vacationers start arriving. But because the prices are negotiable, you know, all I'm saying is it's best if you do the negotiation with a Spanish speaker. If your group is large enough, you can even get an entire panga for yourself or water taxi for yourself, and then you can coordinate when you want to be picked up and dropped off. But it is a really great place to go and enjoy yourself. If you've never been, I strongly, strongly recommend it. I wanted to show you more photographs of Las Ánimas, and I quickly took a dive into my photo bank this morning, and I couldn't find any, but I found this awesome photograph. This is vintage. This is when Los Muertos Beach was being constructed back in, I believe, 2012, 2011. So this is going to be our cover shot for this morning's broadcast. I took this photo, and I know I have more photos of the construction process of the Los Muertos Pier. I wish I had not lost my photos of the old pier in a hard drive meltdown some time ago. But this is going to be our cover shot. And before I turn this over to your comments, another reminder of Rib Thursday at El Rey Barbecue Lounge here in Colonia Versalles. I went back this past Thursday with Lars, and it was great again. It's a super, super deal because you get 2-for-1 ribs, and if you're a wine drinker, you get 2-for-1 wine, and it's temperature controlled. It's very comfortable. It is a great place to go. So with all that said, let's take a look at this very quickly, and then let's start with your comments.
What do Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder, and Smokey Robinson have in common? They all came out of one place, Detroit, Michigan, Hitsville, USA. In the middle of the civil rights era, one man, Berry Gordy, built a musical empire with a simple mission: make music so good it breaks every barrier. From street corners to global stages, Motown wasn't just a record label. It was the sound of young America. Join Paco Ojeda for Stop in the Name of Soul, an engaging, music-filled presentation featuring 10 iconic recordings that tell the story of Motown's rise, its revolution, and its rhythm. Expect legends, expect stories, expect goosebumps. Stop in the Name of Soul will take place at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work on Thursday, July 24th at 5 p.m. Tickets are 300 pesos cash, available at the reception. Seating is limited. Get yours early.
Oh my goodness. So okay, my friend Corey, God bless my friend Corey, because while you were watching my little promo for Motown, Corey sent me a lovely photo album of Las Ánimas photographs from the time we went in 2018. If you'd like to see awesome Las Ánimas photographs, I'll be happy to schedule them for tomorrow. Just write the word beach by itself in the comments, and I'll be happy to share these beautiful photos that my friend Corey took when we went to Las Ánimas a few years ago. Let me see. Oh, one more thing. Motown is going to be so awesome because do you want to hear about this? Sometimes I wonder if you want to hear about my music appreciation things, but the parallels. No, okay, let me rewind that. If you think about the fact, hold on. What am I trying to do? Let me kill the back. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Music is a reflection of life. Through history, music has been a mirror to what's going on in the world at the time. And we see that when certain pieces of music have reflected wars and have reflected political and social movements. Motown was built at a time in the United States, at a time in which there were a lot of political, social, and racial conflicts. And from that, Motown appeared. So, not to get political or anything, but we will spend a little bit of time on Thursday drawing parallels between the Motown era, what is happening in the United States right now, and we will speculate on how music trends might reflect what's going on in the United States right now in the years to come. I find it fascinating. And again, when I say this has nothing to do with whether things that are going on are good or bad or right or wrong, but there's a lot of change in the air north of the border, and it'll be interesting to see how creators reflect that in their works within the next few years. At least I think it's interesting. I hope you do too. Back to your comments. Okay, now I'm ready. And thank you, Corey, for sending me those photos. I almost lost my train of thought when I started looking at them. That was great. Lots of good mornings. Thank you very much. I saw a couple of messages that were super duper important, like this one from Pamela. Can't wait to hang out with you and Paul on the Spotlight at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Yes, it is 3 p.m. and it is not telecast. We are not broadcasting live. We have not been doing Spotlight live for some time. Instead, we are going to just tape our interview, and it is at 3 p.m. For those of you that don't know, both Pamela and Paul have something in common. They have created pages on, or a presence on Substack, which is an interesting platform that allows you to collect and share your writing. If you're a writer, primarily, you can also share other content, but writing. And both Pamela and Paul are very prolific when it comes to writing, with different subject matters, of course. So we will have a nice conversation with them as to what they're writing about, what their goals are, and why other people here in Puerto Vallarta might consider either starting to write on Substack or follow people on Substack. As an aside, and we'll talk about this at length on Wednesday when we tape the interviews. There are a lot of very interesting people, from broadcasters, journalists, commentators, that have moved to Substack to share their viewpoints. So it is an interesting platform. We'll learn more about that on Wednesday, and of course we will broadcast the interviews shortly thereafter. Congratulations, Susan, for completing the Puerto Vallarta survey. That is the spirit. Congratulations, Barbara, from doing the same thing. Bravo. And let's see what else. More good mornings. Betsy has completed the survey. Hooray. I love it. And yes, the Nayarit governor wants the Tepic airport to become a major player to foreign travelers coming to resorts in Upper Nayarit. And I'm sure that that highway will facilitate getting back and forth. What do they offer? Nice accommodations, good view. What? I don't know, Angelica, what this question is about. This is about the Islas Marias experience. Well, we shared the website in the show notes. It's available in English and in Spanish, so I'm sure you can answer your own question. If it is about something else, please clarify. Carmen, first of all, Carmen, now that the news that Oculto is closed and you've made it public beyond the statement that we shared here, I am so comforted to see that you're getting a lot of love and support from friends. This will always be your home whenever you have anything to share, if you have new plans. Te quiero mucho. And yes, Islas Marias is something that we heard about since we are little kids. And of course, we know that Andrés López Obrador made it a big presidential promise to reopen as a tourist destination. It is now a Pueblo Mágico. I am dying to find time to go to the Islas Marias. And again, in looking at the pricing, it's not that expensive to go. Of course, you need to get there from Puerto Vallarta, which is not that expensive either. But once you get there and you pay for your travel package, I think it was like less than 7,000 or 8,000 pesos per person for a weekend. And once you get there, everything is covered, so you don't need to worry about anything. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Pamela, you're out there and I love it. Where do I find a blue-footed booby other than drag clubs? Well, I make these brownies. You're welcome to try one. And I have found blue-footed boobies after eating one of my brownies. I'm going to leave it at that. And I sleep very well. Thank you. How long ago was it a jail? I can't remember the exact date, but again, I am sure that there's a lot of background information on the website itself. Thank you, Troy. Google says it opened in 1905 and closed in 2019. There you have it. Then we see comments about Las Ánimas. Las Ánimas is gorgeous. Usually we hike there, but it's great that there are other options. I haven't done the hike to Las Ánimas in forever, and I'm happy that there's a boat solution. Do I feel strong enough nowadays to get all the way through the path? Well, maybe, but I don't want to take a chance. Monish, I am so happy to see you here. Monish, of course, is my dear friend and the owner of Rico India on the Isla Rio Cuale. Usually he says, no, that was Barbara. Monish says, I am going to check out Las Ánimas. I had stopped going to the beach to avoid crowds. My best way to do Las Ánimas is to get there as early as possible. By that, I mean, if you take like an early panga around 8:30 or 9, You get to Las Ánimas and are settled in your little palapa, say an hour later. And it's not until 12 or 1 that the larger boat cruises arrive at Las Ánimas. And then you see an influx of people, but never as much people as to make it feel unbearable or crowded. Still, to know that you have the beach essentially for yourself if you get there early between 10:30 in the morning and noon, it is absolutely heavenly. Let's see what else we have. Uh oh, you have no idea, Clemmy. Those ribs were delicious. Um Does anybody have a review comparing El Rey's barbecue ribs to El Torito barbecue ribs? I certainly don't. Um, I would go to both. If you like barbecue ribs, I would go to both. Let's see what else. Beach, 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 beach. Okay, fair. I hear you loud and clear. I will borrow my friend Corey's photographs, and I will be so very happy to share them with you tomorrow, because I do believe it was the last time that I went to Las Ánimas, and it was beautiful. Let's see. Could we learn a new Spanish word every week? I never heard panga before. Of course we can, Susan. And panga is the local word for water taxi. I will definitely make it a point to think of an awesome Spanish word every week that is not four-letter words or insult, because I like to share those because I think they're fun, but maybe there are other fun words that you want. Oh, I can think of a really great word that we can include this week, but I won't tell you what it is. I'll simply put it together and share with you in the days to come. Today, I'm going into town. I'm going into Emiliano Zapata for a couple of reasons. Number one, I wish to buy more Oaxaca cheese at the Emiliano Zapata market. And number two, I'm going to connect with Alexis at the Joint Boutique Hotel, because we're going to coordinate everything about this overnight trip to Yelapa that I'm going to do in about a month, less than a month, so that I can check out the casitas that Alexis has over there. As you know, Alexis and his Casas in Yelapa is our new community partner, and we set it up that way as a gift because Alexis is planning to use all the income from his Airbnb casas to be able to finance his 2-year scholarship in La Sorbonne in Paris. So we are going to support this all the way. I think we're done. So boom. No, that's not what I wanted to say. That's not where I wanted to go. I pushed the wrong button. This one is what I wanted to push. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing everything we do. Your word of mouth means so much to me, and your support means the world to me. I will see you back tomorrow morning for more coffee, more headlines, and more stories. Have a good one.